Yo. Welcome in, man. Today is December the 28th, 2022. It's your boy Chris, and we're back trying to get some cash in NBA as always. Real quick, I did post it on the on the on my Twitter page earlier. The adjustment in time today is solely because I do have another obligation this evening, which I typically don't, of course, because we typically let the show run over. But I will be doing a hard stop at 6 p.m. 6 p.m. Eastern time. I will be doing a hard stop, so 15 minutes earlier and 15 minutes stop earlier, 15 minutes earlier to start as well. So real quick, I know we getting some injury news, so I want to make sure I'm up to date on all things injury. Okay, so it looks like those are things for tomorrow. Bradley Beal is already ruled out. Kind of thought that he wouldn't play. That just came out a few minutes ago from Underdog and both Shams. Let's see what else we got. Oh, and then we got all the questionable tags for the Golden State Warriors. So we gotta quite a few games to get into today. I do have a few plays that I'm really liking. Kind of, if I'm being honest with you guys, trying to trying to wind down my list. It's a lot of things that I actually like today, but we know, all those things aren't necessarily going to cash. So gotta dwindle that list down and figure out exactly what I'm going to play. And that's just me being transparent and honest with you guys. And it's not necessarily a side. I think the sides have been, extremely difficult recently. So I've been kind of, dabbling in the player prop market just a tad bit more, trying to find some value and capping some of the player props, not just necessarily the side. So, in the spread. So let's get into it, man. As always, I do like to do a quick recap. Yesterday, I had two official plays in the Philadelphia 76ers versus the Washington Wizards game. Joel Embiid to go over his 41.5 points plus rebounds. Easy cash. I think he cashed in the third quarter. I think he finished with 57, 58. So easy cash there. And then also the over in that game looked really good, promising from the beginning. Both teams scored over 30 points in the first quarter. Very high scoring game going into halftime. Third quarter, things started to kind of slow down just a tad bit as Philly made their run late. And then fourth quarter, it's almost like the water got turned off. Nobody could score the ball like last 4 or 5 minutes. I'm watching the game, my jaw like pretty much on the floor. Like what? Like somebody please score. But we end up getting the cash in that one. Barely went over, but we did cash the over in that one. So 2-0 there. Then I added who did I add last night? I added De'Aaron Fox. Added De'Aaron Fox, posted it on my timeline. Over 33.5 points plus assists. That did not cash. He was not as assertive as I thought he would be. He did score the ball, but didn't do the greatest job. I thought he would pick up the playmaking, ability. I talked about it on the show yesterday as well with, Sabonis being out. So 2-in-1 day yesterday, 2 back-to-back profitable days, though. So hopefully we can kind of keep it going today. Like I said, I got a few looks that I want to share with you guys. If you wouldn't mind, hit the like button for me. Subscribe to the videos if you guys haven't. Tell a friend to tell a friend, like I always say. And if you guys have looks that you want to share, also send me a request because it's going to be pretty quick for me to go through these games today. I'm not going to be touching on a lot. Kind of want to make sure I have enough time to, get the opinions of everybody else as well. So do me that quick favor, hit the like button for me. Gladly appreciate it. And appreciate all the support as well, man. A lot of support, a lot of people showing love. And I appreciate you guys for that. So let's get into it for today. So first game up, we got the Magic on the second night of a back-to-back going to Detroit to play the Detroit Pistons. The spread in this one opened at 3.5 in favor of Orlando. It's coming all the way down to 1 now. It was actually at a pick earlier as well, and I still see a pick. So books don't really know what to do with this one. Money coming in on Detroit, which actually makes the line a little more favorable for Orlando. I like Orlando in this spot, bounce back spot. We know that they lost to the Lakers last night. Now traveling to Detroit, I feel like it's a perfect get right spot for them. Detroit is a tough physical team at home, though. They like to try to beat you, with their size on the interior, but typically they just run out of gas. If you watch the Detroit Pistons play, and I do frequently, it's a team that just, they score a lot of points in the first quarter, in the first half, but then their water kind of gets shut off, in the fourth quarter specifically. Offense just becomes really stagnant. They don't move the ball well, and really just stop scoring. So I like Orlando in this spot. I didn't play them, but that's the only way I would look is take Orlando. You can take them on the money line, take them -1. But I did get involved in the total in this one. I took the total over the 229 which is what is that right now. Haven't seen a lot of movement, even though I did think that there would be movement, which is why I put the video out earlier today. You look at just a quick few notes on this one, and all of these are in the video posted as well. Orlando, they're 4-1 to the over on the second leg of a back-to-back, 5-1 to the over in their last 6 games. A lot of that has to do with them getting their guards back. You know, they have Fultz back, they have Cole Anthony back, so they don't have to use, you know, the Wagner brothers to play point guard, because neither one of them are necessarily a point guard, but they had to fill in that role. Then you got guys like Bol Bol, Paolo Banchero, Wendell Carter Jr. So, you know, it's a lot of scoring on this team, and I don't think that they struggle to score, you know, in this game against Detroit. If you look at the Detroit side, they're also 4-0 to the over in their last 4 home games versus a team that has a winning versus a team with a road win percentage of less than 40%. They're also over 5-0 in their last 5 games versus a team with a winning percentage below 40%. They're also 7-1 to the over is 7-1 in the Pistons' last 8 home games. They struggle defensively. Typically, teams get whatever it is that they want against this team, and which is why you see the team, the totals kind of fly over. So 7-1 in Detroit last 8 games specifically, and then 12-5 to the over Detroit at home, including 7 of their last 8 as well. So yeah, teams just pretty much get whatever it is they want. They typically play at a faster pace. And then head-to-head stats. These teams are 5-1 to the over in their last 6 meetings, and 6-2 to the over in their last 8 meetings in Detroit. So I look for points to be scored. Like I said, Detroit, they rank 29th defensively last 2 weeks at home. And then Orlando, their offense has gotten a lot better. They rank 18th offensively last 2 weeks on the road. They've been able to score the ball, you know, pretty efficiently, and I see points in this one. So lock that one in for one unit play for me. Orlando, Detroit over the 229. And then I also was looking at Bojan Bogdanovic threes. I didn't play this one, but you know, just in case you guys are interested, Bogdanovic threes. He's sitting at 2.5. Orlando allows the 8th most threes last 7 games to small forwards. Orlando ranks 20th in points allowed to small forwards last 7 games, and 6th for the whole season. Bogdanovic has hit 6. He hit 6 of his 10 threes earlier this season versus this same Orlando team in the first matchup. And Orlando has given up at least 6 threes to 16 players so far this season. So I like Bogdanovic being at the crib, the more rested team. We know the offense typically runs through him, but I just didn't want to get there with all my player props. So Bogdanovic will probably be my favorite one in this one. Couldn't talk anyone off of Banchero. I know a lot of people lost money with him yesterday. Thank God I wasn't on that train, because I would have been extremely frustrated, especially against a poor Lakers defense. But I could see him bouncing back. Excuse me. I could see him bouncing back in a spot like this tonight. So that's kind of my notes in that game. I like the Magic. Didn't play them. Like the total. I did play the total over the 229, and I like Bogdanovic points. So taking a quick breath, grabbing a sip of water, and then moving along. So this next game, the Phoenix Suns and the Washington Wizards. So a lot of injury news in this one. Of course, we know, you know, the first of all, let's talk about the Phoenix Suns. So the Phoenix Suns, without Devin Booker, were getting roasted pretty much this whole season. They go to Denver the other day and take those guys to overtime in a game that Devin Booker only played just a few minutes in before he sat on the bench and, you know, with the hamstring injury. Then, of course, the news came out today. He's going to miss close to a month with the hamstring injury. So this team is extremely shorthanded again. Landry Shaman is also out. Cam Johnson, Cam Payne, of course, are still not there. They also, Chris Paul's listed as questionable. I think he gives it a go tonight. And I think because Chris Paul's going to play on the second night of a back-to-back with travel from Memphis to DC, that they're going to actually try to win this game. I will be looking at Phoenix to win this game. Bradley Beal's also been ruled out in this one. Bradley Beal's also been ruled out in this one. You see the total in this one drop from 225 to 220. I think that's indicative of Phoenix actually playing defense. It's something that they did yesterday. They went to Memphis, and one of the reasons why I didn't get on Memphis is because Phoenix is a very they take the revenge angle serious. So just put it that way, and I think that they do tonight as well. I didn't get there with Phoenix. I think that, you know, I'm not really worried about the point spread in this one because I do feel like the Wizards can function well without Bill. Like they were playing well early in the season without Bill when it was just Porzingis and it was just Kyle Kuzma. I know that Porzingis left last night. He did end up coming back in that game. Not sure of his status today, but I'd be looking at Phoenix in this one and probably early just so you don't have to necessarily play around with the line. Washington is coming off a win last night against the Philadelphia 76ers. So glad I stayed away from that spread because Washington did win that game outright as 5-point dogs. And what I'm looking at in this game, though, and I'm really, really close to getting to the window with this one, probably need to go ahead and play it, but I got it sitting in my best slip, was doing some more research. And that was Ayton, right? So Ayton is in the same spot. Of course, Ayton is not Joel Embiid. I don't want anybody to think that, but he's in the same spot that Joel Embiid was in last night, right? And that spot is that centers just do whatever they want to do against the Washington Wizards. I think that that's something that has continued to, something that I, don't necessarily have to look at as far as my handicap because I just played Embiid yesterday. Like I said, Ayton is no Embiid, but you just think about what I have written in my notes. Playing him, Ayton, 30 and a half rebounds plus points, right? Or points plus rebounds, PR. It's 30 and a half on Hard Rock. I see it at 31 and a half on other books, but I would definitely play the 30 and a half because the number is, I think, pretty sharp. The reason why I like it is because the Suns are extremely shorthanded, right? I talked about it. No Booker, no Campaign, no Landry Shamet, and Biyombo is questionable with I think his knee soreness as well, right? So I think that's a lot of minutes for Ayton. One of the things that I looked at was Ayton playing on third game in 4 nights, and he hasn't played too bad in that spot this year because this is a third game in 4 nights with travel as well. They played on Christmas, had 1 day off. They played in Memphis, and of course the game tonight is in DC. So Ayton, he's averaging 21 and 11 over the last 5 games. He's also gone over this line in 5 of his last 7 road games without Devin Booker. One of the other things that I looked at, just a quick StatMuse query of Ayton road games without Devin Booker. He's gone over in 5 of his last 7. Wizards struggle against big men, like I talked about. And I think that Ayton has the revenge angle on his mind. I listened to the post-game interview last night as well. Him talking about Memphis, and he said that there wasn't a revenge there, but you could just tell by his nonverbal cues that it was a revenge angle there. And we do know that the Washington Wizards did just go into Phoenix last week without Devin Booker and win that game outright. So I think Ayton brings it tonight. I like Ayton over his 30 and a half, 30 and a half, 31 and a half points plus rebounds in that one. Really want to play Phoenix as well, but I'm probably not going to get there. I had a lot of things that pointed towards Phoenix not actually winning the game. One of the things was Suns 0-3 straight up and only 1-2 ATS versus the East on the road. 1-3 ATS playing on the second leg of a back-to-back. Also, Wizards 3-0 versus the West when playing a Western Conference team on the second night of a back-to-back. Wizards also 6-1. Never mind, that's to the over. But yeah, so no official play on the actual side. I do lean Phoenix and probably early, just so you don't have to play, the second half. And I also really, really like Ayton to go over his 31 and a half points, rebounds, and assists. I'm sorry, points plus rebounds. So next game, we got the Lakers and the Miami Heat. We still don't know the status of LeBron James. He said when he woke up this morning, he would, see how he felt and, figure out whether he was going to play. On the opposite side, there's a lot of things going on for the Miami Heat, which I feel like I don't know who is actually all in and who's out. I know Jimmy Butler was listed as questionable. Bam Adebayo was listed as questionable. Let me see if I can find that real quick because that information is necessary. But I'm saying all that to say, clearly, if I don't know that, then I don't, I'm not playing a side in this one. I feel like it's too many points to lay with the Miami Heat at home. The books are kind of forcing you to, if you want Miami, you'll have to, pay a premium. And an 8-point line indicates that, they probably think that it's going to be a blowout. I think the Lakers could, potentially keep this one close and keep it close early, right? So LeBron's still listed as questionable. And then yeah, we don't have a lot of the news. Spoelstra and Pat Riley are some of the master manipulators of the injury report. So we'll probably get that news here soon. If you do get that, I feel like, and you take this with a grain of salt, I feel like Braun is going to play. He is back in Miami today. And if he does play, I think the line kind of indicates, the total indicates that Braun's going to play in this game as well. The Miami Heat, I think, ranked 24th offensively last 2 weeks at home. Is one of the reasons that they've been losing so many games is because they just have trouble scoring the ball. And with, everything is indicative of if Bam plays, if Jimmy Butler plays, and of course if LeBron James plays as well. If LeBron plays, I do like the total to go over, and we've seen the line move up throughout the day. It's opened at 224, it's all the way up to 227.5. I don't think that the line is going up without some kind of indication that somebody's going to play in this game, whether that be Bam, whether that be Jimmy Butler, LeBron James. I do think that the total probably continues to go up, especially being that the Lakers are on the third game in 4 nights and the second night of a back-to-back traveling from Orlando. So Lakers are terrible defensively. I couldn't talk anyone off just taking Miami Heat team total over, but because I don't see a lot of defense being played by the Lakers in this one, but I also just don't trust Miami's offense, if that makes sense either, to be able to score. If you go score, it would be in a game like this. Or Orlando Magic team total was 119.5 yesterday, and we know that they didn't get to that number against the Los Angeles Lakers. So really conflicting game. Injury report manipulation at its finest. Let's see. Miami team total is 115.5. Well, opened at 115.5, all the way up to 118. Lakers do play at some of the fastest pace, especially without having AD. I would look towards the Lakers early in this one. I do think if they have a chance, you probably want to take them first half. And I got some numbers to kind of back that real quick, but not anything that I played, just on my short list as well. So I got the Lakers first half. You can get them at +4.5, probably +5 on some books. The Lakers is 11-7 against the spread on the road this season, including 11-7 ATS on the road in the first half. That's 61%, including 3 of their last 5, which is 60% in this spot as well. Miami is just 7-10 against the spread at home this season, including 3-6-1 ATS in their last 10 in the first half at home as well. So, for those reasons, the Lakers typically don't get blown out until, they run out of gas in the second half. So I can see the Lakers kind of keeping this one close early, but that's not anything that I played as either. Just kind of, sharing information with you guys there. Moving along to the Brooklyn and Atlanta game, another game that is has a lot of injury indications in this one, right? Brooklyn is pretty healthy. I know that they're getting Steph Curry back in this one, Kyrie, KD, all the guys will be in for this one, Ben Simmons as well. Atlanta, not so much, right? Trae Young, I think he hit his shin, bang knees with somebody late in the fourth quarter, didn't return in that game. Total in this game is dropping, probably indicative of him not, potentially not playing. We don't have news that he's been ruled out yet. Also on the Atlanta side, Clint Capella is also not available for this game. He did miss the game last night. And typically what that means is you can get whatever you want against, Atlanta Hawks defense. And I do feel like that's the case tonight. I do think that, the Brooklyn Nets, who have been, just kind of killing it offensively, can get whatever it is that they, can absolutely do whatever it is that they want in a game like tonight. Atlanta does turn up, on the at home specifically, but they are traveling back home from a loss last night against the Indiana Pacers. So this is the second night of a back-to-back road home back-to-back. I want to see if I can find the injury news really quickly, because I do think I just can't remember all of it. Who was in and who was out. So Bogdanovich is questionable, DeAndre Hunter is questionable, Capella is out, and Trae is questionable as well. So really don't know what to do with this game until you get all that information. I think that Brooklyn being 7-point favorites is a lot on the road, especially in Atlanta, where Atlanta plays pretty well. Atlanta also they play well in this underdog role at home too, right? I remember taking the Denver Nuggets a couple weeks ago when everybody got ruled out for Atlanta, and Atlanta absolutely turned up in that spot. Their bench players don't play that great, but they also play well when they're starters, if that makes sense. They did it in the game against Memphis in the first half, and then they did it the whole entire game against that Denver Nuggets team. AJ Griffin, who else? Culliver. They got some guys off the bench that can, just kind of help out. They got the Holiday brothers at guard. DeJounte Murray's back as well. So It looks easy to take Brooklyn. Brooklyn is balling right now. I definitely wouldn't take Atlanta. Maybe a live game, maybe a live spot. I see all the money on Brooklyn. That typically is not a really good indication of how the game's going to be played. So maybe you take Brooklyn live if Atlanta is balling in the beginning of the game. So that's what I got for you guys there. Nothing official for me at all in that one. And yeah, that's it in that game. So 4 more games to get to real quick, and I don't have a lot on these games. The Timberwolves and the Pelicans, I don't really have anything on that game. Not a game that I'm extremely interested in at all. Zion is supposed to make his return. I know Herb Jones is ruled out. On the Timberwolves side, they just look really, really bad recently. Specifically on the road, they've looked really, really bad. They lost in Miami 2 nights ago against a Miami team that didn't have Bam Adebayo and didn't have Jimmy Butler. So I find it extremely difficult to back teams and kind of, figure. I'm not willing to blindly put my money on them to say, oh, they're going to step up in this spot and play well. We know that the Pelicans play well at home, but 6.5 feels like a pretty big number for them to cover, especially with Zion first game back. We know also to take into consideration that these guys, I've talked about it before, these guys that are coming back from COVID, they typically don't perform well in their first game back. So something to kind of, pay attention to. And because you don't perform well, you could hurt your team. So maybe, you look towards Minnesota, but I'm not putting my money on Minnesota blindly, just thinking that Zion may not be 100%. Also, Brandon Ingram is still listed as out in this one, still hasn't made his return. I think he's missed over a month now. So, yeah, I know Trey Murphy's in. Yeah, I'm not playing this game. I'll probably just watch this one. Then we got the Bulls and the Bucks. Also, a game that I just really kind of want to stay away from, man. Drew Holiday was ruled out in this one. I really want to take the Bucks, honestly. But the Bulls do play well in this underdog role. Even and right when you want to fade them is typically when they play well, right? The Bulls, I forgot. Shout out to Ronald. He shared some trends with me earlier. When the Bulls are home dogs against conference teams, they're undefeated. ATS, I think something like 6-0 is what they are against Eastern Conference opponents when they're at home in their dog. So it's also playoff revenge. Chicago got put out the playoffs last year to the Milwaukee Bucks. The Bucks have traveled to 15 different arenas over their last 15 games, including their home games. They just fading these teams in certain spots throughout the seasons have been extremely, extremely profitable. If you've been fading these teams on their 3rd game out of a 6-game road trip, playing off only 1 day's rest, maybe 2 games in a row, you've been extremely profitable. And I think that's what we've seen with the Bucks recently. This team, isn't as bad as their record are right now. And when they get back home, they'll probably start to string together some wins. I do think that their role players will start playing better. Guys like Grayson Allen have not been playing well recently. They have also, had Chris Middleton in and out of the lineup, but he's also going to miss this game today. So could not look to really take the Bucks, but I do feel like it's a Bucks spot coming off 2 losses to the Celtics and to the Brooklyn Nets recently. Also lost to the Cavs last week as well. So yeah, to me, it's a really difficult game to cap. The Bulls just got smacked up by the Houston Rockets, out of conference opponent, of course, coming in there, smacking them up. It's their 2nd game back home. I think for the Bucks, it's their last game of a 6 or 7 game road trip for them as well. So nothing really for me. I feel like Giannis probably has a big game, but one of the things that I looked at, I know everybody and their mom's probably on Giannis today. One of the things that I looked at was Giannis game logs without Drew Holiday. He typically doesn't do as well. Giannis does not typically do as well in those spots without Drew Holiday. Not 100% sure why. I don't even know who they're going to put in front of him to slow him down either. So if you like Giannis, don't let me talk you off of him. I'm just not officially on Giannis today. One of the things that I was looking at in this game, though, was and I actually played this. I played this earlier. Smaller play for me, just because I feel like player props have been a tad bit weird, and I gotta find my notes real quick. I played Brook Lopez. I played Brook Lopez 3 specifically. They only let you go up to 4. I'm sorry, up to 3. But I played Brook Lopez over 1.5 threes. I got that line at a -115 earlier. So Brook, he's hit 2 or more threes in 3 of his last 4 games. He's also attempted at least 4 threes in 13 of his 14 games versus the Bulls, dating back to when he first joined the Bucks in 2018, right? So the volume's going to be there. We know Vucevic doesn't really like to come outside to the 3-point line. Brook Lopez has also hit 3 of 7 threes in the first. He shot 3 for 7 in the first meeting between these two teams back in November 23rd, earlier this season. And if you're looking at the Bulls' 3-point defense over the season, they're allowing 13.7 makes, third worst in the NBA, on 36%, 21st worst percentage-wise 3-point defense, and teams are shooting 38%. I'm sorry, on 36 attempts per game, which is the 21st most attempts, and teams are shooting 38%, which is the second best percentage against the Bulls from three. You look at them at home specifically, because what I just gave you guys was on the season. You look at them at home specifically over the last 2 weeks. Chicago has been even worse, allowing 17 made threes on 40 attempts, which is the third most attempts allowed. And their opponents are shooting nearly 43% behind the 3-point line. Third worst defense over the last 2 weeks at home specifically. So we know the Bucks like to, give the ball to Giannis and kind of let him go downhill. I also looked at Brook Lopez without Jrue Holiday, just to kind of make sure he was still getting the same amount of attempts, and he is. So that was another reason why I played it. You look at other key centers who have also had big shooting nights against the Chicago Bulls this season. They include Kevin Love. He hit 5 threes against this team, 5 for 6 from 3. Mo Bamba hit 4 for 5, and these are all games in Chicago as well. So Kevin Love went 5 for 6 from 3. Mo Bamba went 4 for 5 from 3. Jalen Smith for the Indiana Pacers also went 3 for 5 from 3. Julius Randle had a big game where he shot 5 for 10 in Chicago, and Christian Wood shot 3 for 7 from 3. So I think Brook Lopez can get it done today. I'm playing Brook Lopez over the 1.5 threes. I also took him smaller play, but I also sprinkled on his 3 threes. They were plus 290 when I took them earlier. I'm playing both of those, over 1.5 and 3 threes for Brook Lopez today. These numbers also both support Grayson Allen, who's been in a pretty bad shooting slump recently, and both Pat Connaughton as well. Pat Connaughton is a sniper. He will let it go. When I looked at it earlier, the lines weren't available for Pat Connaughton though, so I just played Brook Lopez over the 1.5 threes. He'll stretch the floor so Giannis can try to go downhill and get to the rim against not a lot of paint protection. But if they decide to double, I do think that the kickouts will be there. We just need Brook Lopez to knock him down, and he has recently. He's actually shooting more threes than anybody on this team, even though he's like 9 foot tall. So that's what I got for you guys there. Like I said, really wanted to get behind the Bucks. I also think that the game probably goes under, but didn't play that. But I did play Brook Lopez over the 1.5 threes. Also play Brook Lopez 3 threes as well. So that's what I got for you guys in that game. Moving along, and I'm actually going pretty slow because I want to have about 30 minutes for you guys. So I'm gonna try to speed it up. Next game up, we have the Denver and Sacramento game. I think the best play in this game is the under. Right, so a lot of trends kind of back the under. Talked about it earlier on Let's Cap with Ronald and Munaf and also Austin. If you guys aren't checking out the show, man, it's a lot of trends being shared over there. A lot of different perspectives being shared, and when they all align, typically we cash. So a lot of things kind of point towards this under. These teams are coming off a game last night where Sacramento, they pretty much had their game won. I watched it till the end. Ended up, not taking a side in that one, but more so playing De'Aaron Fox and thinking that he would go over his prop, and he didn't. So tonight, these two teams face off again. It's going to be a totally different matchup tonight because of the injury news. We have Sabonis also listed as questionable for this one. He didn't play in the game yesterday. Still kind of dealing with that right hand. Bam listed as probable for the game. Caleb Martin also available. We get news right now. Gabe Vincent listed as available to play. So injury report coming out right now for them. We'll probably also get something on Jimmy Butler within the next few seconds as well, which will probably push that total, maybe even move it up from the 8 to probably 8.5, maybe even a 9, which makes me like the Lakers even more, because then I feel like, especially in the first half, because then I feel like I'm definitely not laying that many points with Miami, but probably nothing that I'm gonna take. So getting back to the Denver and Sacramento game, I do think that the best play in this game will probably be the under. That game went over yesterday, and there's a trend that shows that when teams play each other in back-to-back games and the first game goes over, the second one goes under at a very, very high rate, specifically if the total has opened up as less than the total was in the previous game. So I like the under in that game. I know a lot of people don't play totals. I know a lot of people, try to stay off, stay off the unders because they haven't been successful this year. But I do think that this one may go under. I like the under in this one. Nothing that I played officially. Also, just couldn't talk anybody off Jokic. I know that Jamal Murray, I don't think that he's been ruled out yet, but he probably won't play. And if he doesn't play, that's just more usage for Jokic. Also, Michael Porter Jr., Kevin Porter. No, Michael. Yes, Michael. Michael Porter Jr., same thing, right? He played really, really big last night. I think he hit 5 threes out of his 10 attempts. And I think that, first game playing a back-to-back, he probably regresses back, a tad bit to the mean as well. We also got news that Jimmy Butler is now listed as questionable still, which is where he was listed at first, so that helps none. But yeah, back to this Denver game. That's the way I'd be looking. I'd be looking towards the under. Also looking towards Jokic props. Maybe, Jokic's going to bring it every single night. He's one of the reasons why Denver is in every single game. Don't know what his PRA line is set at, but couldn't talk anybody off that. The Kings don't really have anybody that can stop them. So that's what I'd be looking at in that game. And then the last game, man, the Utah Jazz and the Golden State Warriors. This one is really, really difficult. You don't want to back the Golden State. You don't want to back the Utah Jazz as an away favorite. They're terrible in that spot. But you also don't want to fade the Golden State Warriors. The Golden State Warriors. I bet against the Golden State Warriors one time earlier this year when they were home dogs. It was recently. I don't know if you guys remember it, but it was the first ABC game of the year against the Boston Celtics, and they absolutely looked great in that spot. I do think that this is the first time, however, that the Golden State Warriors are home dogs. They've been home dogs twice. They've won both of those games and covered both of those games as well. This is the first time they've been home dogs, but also without rest. Right. So they are playing on the second night of a back-to-back. They beat Charlotte last night. Actually had to play pretty difficult. They came out, crushed Charlotte early, and then Charlotte ended up coming back in that game, third quarter, fourth quarter, and they had to play, pretty much throughout that game. Now we got a lot of questionable tags. Klay Thompson is also already ruled out. I think Dante DiVincenzo is questionable, as well as Draymond Green is listed as questionable in this one. Utah feels like the right side, but sometimes when things feel like they're supposed to go a certain way, they don't go that way. Golden State still has a lot of, young talent that I think can score the ball. You look at guys like Kuminga. You look at Jordan Poole still going to be in for this one. Utah doesn't really have a guard in my opinion that can slow down Jordan Poole. So, he didn't shoot the ball necessarily the greatest last night from the field. Maybe it's a game where he goes, gets himself back acclimated. And I feel like yesterday I saw reports that Wiggins could be back, but I don't think that that's true. I feel like I haven't seen anything about that today. So no official play for me in this one. Real quick, I just want to make sure I went over everything that I had in my notes, and I'll do a quick recap and kick it to you guys. We got about 25 minutes. Like I said, if you join late, 6 p.m., I do have a hard cutoff because I have another arrangement that I am have to actually leave my house for. So we got about 25 minutes. If you guys have thoughts or opinions or plays that you want to share, like I said, send me a request. I'll go over my officials really, really quickly again, and then kick it to you guys. So Orlando, Detroit, over the 229.5, official play for me. Also let's make it official with Aiden. Aiden over 30.5 points plus rebounds. I gave my analysis around that one a lot. I gave my analysis around that one of why I like it a lot. And those are actually the two plays that I'm looking at the most. I do like the Kings game to go under. I really, really like that spot a lot. Also really like the Brooklyn Nets in some capacity. I just kind of want to wait till we get the official news on the injury report in that game. Don't want to be manipulated out in that one. I do think that Brooklyn could, while they have been hot, I think they could, overlook this Atlanta team, especially if Atlanta's sitting a lot of their guys. So kind of want to get, all the information in that game before I do anything official in that one. And then I talked about Brook Lopez. I took his threes over 1.5 minus 115. And I also played Brook Lopez 3-3. Smaller play, sprinkle play for me, but I took Brook Lopez over 3-3. To hit 3 threes or more, plus 290. So those are my official plays for the day. I got a couple requests, so I'm gonna kick it to you guys and let you guys kind of share what it is that you like. Also, if you guys are listening, man, hit the like button for me if you can. Retweet the show. Always helps. Appreciate you guys. All the positive support as well, man. I've been taking it light in the morning, not doing the Cash Day with Chris show. Just kind of, spending time with my family, with my son, just kind of relaxing, not doing, as much in the morning, kind of sleeping in, getting some more rest, kind of recharging as well for the beginning of the new year. So, you guys hit the like button for me and share your plays with me as well. Let me come who I got Legacy. Let me kick it to Legacy. Legacy, what's going on, my guy? How you doing?
Yo, what's good, bro?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm gonna be real quick because I know you got a hard cutoff coming up. I got 2 plays for the day. I got Banchero, points and assists, at 24.5.
Okay.
Real easy look. Banchero, he didn't play too well last night. Got in foul trouble. Pretty much cost everybody, a lot of money yesterday, I would say. But I do look to him to bounce back today. Detroit does allow the second most points to power forwards, and I did go do some digging as far as the past 3 back-to-backs that the Orlando Magic have been on, and that record for them has been 4-2. And in 4 of those back-to-backs, Banchero has covered that point and assist line of 24.5. You can also take his points too if you want to, play it a little safer, I would say. But 24.5 to me just seems like the play for me. Also, he had 27 points the last time they played Detroit. I think that was their first game of the season. And then also my second play would be Colin Sexton to get 11.5 points. That line on FanDuel, I originally had it at 11.5, but it jumped to 12.5. I still like it at 12.5. He's covered that line in 5 of the last 5 at home, 10 of the last 10 at home, and then 2 of the 2 times that they played Golden State. But on the road, obviously, he's 3-5 and he's 7-10. They, the Warriors, they give up the 7 most points to point guards. The Warriors aren't on a back-to-back, so I don't know how much, energy or how much will they're going to come and play with tonight, or even if they're going to really come and play at all, to be honest, because, who knows? Who knows what kind of Golden State Warriors we're going to get today. But so that 12.5 line is at plus money. I think I'm going to rock with the 11.5, just to be safe, because there has to be a reason why they changed the line so suddenly. But other than that, those are my only 2 officials for today, man. That's all I got.
Okay. Yeah. I think a lot of goes into that line, Legacy. That line, and it's telling because it opened at, I saw it opened at 2. I know some books. I know I was talking to one of my guys, Mitch, earlier. He was telling me that he saw the line open in favor of Golden State last night, but I saw it opened at 2 in favor of the Warriors. And now, with all the, and it could be, just one of those things where, the books try to manipulate you again. We saw it yesterday in the Memphis game, right? We saw it in the game before. I forgot which team it was on Christmas Day. It was a game as well, right? I see 87% of the money, 70% of the tickets is on Utah. So, I just, when it looks too easy, I typically kind of stay off. The spread does indicate that, the Utah Jazz are going to win the game and win by margin now because it is up to 5.5. But if you didn't get in on a good number, good, best of luck. I will also add that for Utah, this is a revenge game for them. For Golden State, this is a revenge game for them as well. They fell to Utah. I think it was 2 weeks ago in Utah on a game that came down to the buzzer.
Right. I remember that
game. Yeah. Best of luck to you though, Lexi. I hope you cash them, bro.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. Warriors 3rd game in 4 nights as well. They did play on Christmas Day as well. So all that's kind of baked into the line. But let me kick it to Frag, and then Bookie, I'm gonna come to you. What up, Frag?
Yo, Chris, what's going on, brother?
I can't call it, bro. You tell me. What's good?
Yeah, man. I had a rough day. I think it was 2 nights ago. I with the Blazers. They had to cover the full game. First half, first quarter was a flop. And then Cavs money line was a flop, so that was a 1-3 night. But honestly, I got one look, and it's gonna be a play that you had yesterday. It's gonna be De'Aaron Fox points and assists at 31.5. I'm looking at the line. I seen it went down a whole 1 point as far as this at 31.5. Yesterday was at
You breaking up a little bit, Fred. Oh no, you good now. You good.
Like plus 3.5. I don't know if Sabonis is gonna play. I see his like props are not up, so I assume he's not gonna play. I seen him on the bench. He had like a cast on or something on his hand, so I'm not sure about him playing. But my only concern with this play is, for some reason, De'Aaron Fox only played 31 minutes yesterday. I couldn't understand it, because I seen him have posted the play, but I couldn't get to the window to tail it. Like, it locked on me, so I was like, all right, we'll just watch and see how it plays out. He only played 31 minutes. Kevin Huerter played 37 minutes for some reason. I don't know why Kevin Huerter is playing, more minutes. I mean, I know he's a starter, but he's playing 37. I don't understand why, De'Aaron Fox is not playing 37 minutes. It just didn't make sense to me. So, and I seen the backup, Davion Mitchell. He ended up having 9 assists in 18 minutes. So I thought that was kind of just not sustainable. So I'm thinking some of those assists could go to De'Aaron Fox early. I seen a couple of shots for his teammates, it was in and outs, and a couple of them, they got fouled going to the rack. So those are a couple of potential assists that he missed out on. But yeah, that's my play. But my only concern is the 31 minutes. I don't know what the fuck. I don't even know what to say about that, honestly. But yeah, that's my play.
Okay, so De'Aaron, you going back to the well and De'Aaron over 31.5. You like it, Frag, even if I guess my question is, would you wait?
I haven't got to the window. You think Sabonis plays?
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say, if Sabonis plays, right, if he gives it a go, you'll probably be able to get a better line because that number's gonna drop, right? Yeah. So yeah, I would just kind of, for everybody else that's thinking about playing that, I would probably wait if you like De'Aaron to bounce back in the spotlight tonight. And not to say that he had a bad game, because he still finished with 30. That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, he had 30. He finished with 30 points and assists, but just couldn't get over the 33.5. So if you like him to have another strong game today, I would probably wait for and get a better line after Sabonis is rolled in.
Yeah, like he just has one of them. Like he literally plays like 6 minutes in the first quarter, and then they take him out. Right, like he has like his minutes. Like it's weird the way they play him. So I don't know. It's strange.
Yeah. Well, best of luck, bro. If you play it, I hope you cash it, man, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. I would just say, like I said, kind of make sure you got that news. Make sure you got that news first.
Do you think the line could drop by?
I think if Sabonis rolled in, it might drop to 30.5 points, points plus assists. Yeah, I think it'll probably drop 1 if Sabonis is in, and then kind of honestly, it might be something that you don't play, Fred. You kind of keep it on your list, and you take a live look at, right? Because if you're gonna watch the game, if you're gonna have one bet today, then you're probably gonna be watching that game. And if you're gonna be watching that game, then you can kind of see how Sabonis looks, right? Like, this isn't Sabonis' strong hand. We know he's left-handed, and this is on his right hand, but he does a lot of banging, getting boards, a lot of running into people on the offensive end. So he could jam that finger up, and then you probably get you jump on it live if Sabonis doesn't, if he can't finish the game, and you might get a better line as well, Fred.
Yes, sir. Appreciate your insight, man. Thank
you. No, absolutely. I appreciate you coming with that play. Bookie, I want to kick it to you, and then tomorrow I'm coming to you. What up, Bookie?
So I'm gonna go quick. So first play I got, I wouldn't really call it a gut play. I just didn't really dive too deep into it, but I'm on KD's over 20.5 points. I see a lot of other people on it too.
Who is that, Bookie?
KD over 28.5.
Oh, KD. Okay, Kevin Durant. Okay.
Yeah. He just kind of torches Atlanta. Obviously, Kyrie kind of has a tougher matchup. Murray, I think, is in, and Trey is out. Murray, obviously a great perimeter defender. And, Atlanta's a great team at kind of pushing you off the line, but they're very vulnerable to those mid-range scores. And a guy like Hunter, no matter who they throw on KD, is just going to be a big problem for him. So I like him to get that. And then, obviously, I love Paulo tonight. I put something on that, but the play I like a little more, that I put a little more on, was Franz over 15.5 and Paulo over 16.5 minus 111. I played this yesterday. Obviously, he stunk on me. Paulo getting the 17, hitting in 89% of games. Franz with the 16 and 71% of games. Great matchup, obviously. Detroit's allowing, I think, top 8 points per game to shooting guard, small forward, power forward. All the positions they're going to play. Over the last 12, Detroit's the 3rd best defensive rating, 5th most points per game in the paint, where Paulo scoring 28% of his points, and Franz 70%. Both these guys also score a significant amount of points from the free throw line. Paulo 31%. That's kind of a crazy number for a rookie. Franz 23%. Detroit's opponents are shooting the 3rd most free throws per game, and obviously Stewart and Durant love to throw haymakers down there, so I like that play a lot. Another player like Kyle Kuzma, 20-plus points and 6-plus rebounds in 10 games this season with Beal and without Porzingis. Kuzma's averaging 21 points on 19.3 field goal attempts. So definitely going to have the volume. He's going to be hucking a lot of shots. He's also averaging 8 rebounds. He has 20 and 6. I don't even know if I said the play, but I'm taking his 20 points and 6 rebounds at minus 103. He has 20 and 6 in 6 of 10 of those games with the 3-unders coming against Memphis and the Clippers. In games, he just scored 12, 9, and 17 points against the Clippers. So obviously, much better matchup today. Phoenix still a good defensive team, even with all these injuries. But despite that, they allow the 3rd most points per game to power forwards in the second highest field goal percentage, along with allowing plus 2.5 points to the average of small forwards over the last 12 days or over the last 30 days. So yeah, that's what I like. If you guys couldn't hear me because I'm talking real fast, I know I do. Go shoot me a follow. I'm close to 200. Good looks, Chris. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, Bookie. Appreciate you doing your research, man, and always bringing some some good stuff to the table, man. I think I really love the KD look. I know my guy Munoz is on KD as well. This dude is a sharp as well. So yeah, I can see KD doing it. You mentioned another good angle as well. Just looking at matchup wise, like, Kyrie can't be guarded. We know that, on a given day, he can get whatever it is that he wants, but it should be a much easier matchup. We also just got injury confirmation that Trae Young and Bogdanovich, Jalen Smith are still going to be game time decisions, but DeAndre Hunter just got ruled out, which is, probably the defender that was going to be guarding KD. So like that look a lot, Bookie. Like that look a lot, bro. Hope you cash it. Let me kick it to Amar real quick, and then I want to come to Mitch and then Ben. What's up, Amar? How you doing, bro?
Hey, Chris. How are you, bro?
I'm pretty good, man. How about yourself?
I'm all right. It's been a while since I came on here. Just wasn't really, I don't know, confident, I guess, in too many plays over like the last week or two. But today, just wanted to say, I'm on a couple looks that you mentioned already. Bogdanovich threes, I really like. Bogdanovich, the one on the Pistons.
Right.
What else did you say? Oh, 8 points. I'm definitely on that one too. He actually just had 30 on them a couple days ago.
Yeah, he had 30 and 13. One of the reasons why I wanted to take the points plus rebounds combined, Amar, just because like the Wizards give up a bunch of points to rebounds to centers, and he's gone over that 9.5. So I almost thought about playing his rebounds straight, but yeah, I just kind of wanted to add that in. My fault. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I got a couple other leans that I'm on, but officially I'm just gonna give out Zion assist, to be honest. Oh, also Brook Lopez, I was thinking about that one. Heard you were on it, and you said you added him up to 3, so definitely gonna tell you on that.
Yeah, hopefully we get some cash there, man. I couldn't take him at 4, but I think that it's a possibility he could hit 4 with just how bad Chicago's 3-point defense has been. So let's cash, bro. Hopefully we get some cash on that one.
Definitely. But yeah, officially I'm just on Zion assist. In the last 2 games before he got COVID, he averaged 7 assists on 14 potential, I believe. Just the way the Timberwolves play defense, I can definitely see him getting there. And it's like you could be scared off by like CJ or Jose Alvarado, but honestly, they're about the same level. CJ and Don are about the same level of passer. It's not like they're consistently passing like LeBron or like LaMelo, creating shots for others. It's just like, especially with Zion, with the gravity that he normally attracts just by being silent. I just feel like he's going to find a couple shooters open a day, maybe a couple cuts here and there. Who knows? Might even get to 10.
Yeah. Okay. Best of luck, bro. I hope you cash it.
Right,
hope you cash it, my guy. Absolutely. Appreciate you as well. Mitch, kicking it to you, and then Ben, and then Jehovah coming to you. What's up, Mitch?
Hey, what up, Chris? How you doing, man?
I'm good, bro. How about yourself?
I'm good, man. Holiday season, lots of drinks, lots of eats. I'm trying to get that research done.
That's a fact.
So what I'm going back to the well on this one. I gave this one out, I think, a week ago, or I think it was the first day after Steph got hurt. But I was looking at pool turnovers, over 3.5. I was able to get it at plus 104 this morning. I think it's kind of hovering around like minus 104, minus 105 now. He's gone over in 8 of 9 without Curry this year, and he's gone over in 5 of 6 in the last 6 without Curry. He missed last game. He got 3, but he's hit 4, He's hit 7. He's hit, I believe it was a 6 in there. So I'm just playing the odds. Doesn't look like Draymond, or doesn't look like these guys are going to play. If not, then it's more ball handling duties to Poole. Just keep it simple. Don't need to look too much into it. And the other one that I was on is kind of a small sprinkle. Thinking DeMar's going to go off tonight. And I like his threes. I want to sprinkle on just on 1-3 plus 160. He went 2 of 3 last time versus the Bucks. I'm playing this as he did not hit one in his last game. He hit one in the game before. He with Brook Lopez and Giannis in the paint, I believe that he's going to maybe take a possession or 2 off and not be going in against those trees. So I think he checks off 2 or 3 tonight, and I think he gets scoring.
Okay.
And that's what I'm on tonight, Chris.
Okay. Hey, Mitch, I love the look on Jordan Poole over his turnovers. He like you said, you gave out all the numbers, but you look at this Golden State Warriors team, and they turn the ball over at a really high rate, right? Even though they win games, they still turn the ball over. Actually, 29th in turnovers, averaging 17 per game. Only the Houston Rockets are averaging more, and it's only by 1/10 of a point. So 17.1 to 17. So love that. Also love that you mentioned the Draymond angle. If Draymond's listed as out in this game, then that only increases the ball handling duties for Jordan Poole. So I would only be able to look towards the over even more. Over Jordan Poole over the 3.5 turnovers. Jimmy Butler is in, so we probably will get the line moving. I already started it move to 9. We might get it all the way up to 10. It'll be his first game back playing in a while. Maybe 9.5. Total is going up. Talked about that one as well. It's up to 228. Still waiting on news about LeBron. That should be coming here soon. Yeah, we're getting a lot of breaking stuff. So I got about 6 more minutes. Let me kick it to Ben real quick, and then Jehovah, I want to kick it to you as well. What up, Ben?
Hey, how you doing? I'm just wearing my Julius Randle jersey up last night.
I bet you are.
That's the guy.
Yeah, good call on Jay Randle last night back in Dallas.
So first I'll start with this. People who are concerned about Fox minutes, I was too. I missed a complete angle last night that I was able to pick up on today. In the first game of back-to-backs, whenever Fox plays 32 minutes or less this year, every single time he plays more minutes the following game. So they're clearly trying to conserve him.
Okay.
In 3 of those 4 games, he took 4 shots in game 2 to beat 1 in the legs of the back-to-back. The way I was looking at it was just he didn't even have to exert himself last night, and he took 16 shots and still got the 26. I was just on the points. I think tonight with seeing the same matchup, he sees how they're going to guard him. He's going to be more assertive. I mean, he couldn't be less assertive than he was last night, right? So, more minutes. If he gets to that 34, 36-minute mark, which is actually below average for his second game of back-to-backs in this situation. He's played as much as 42 minutes in the second leg of back-to-back this year. I think he gets there on that point slide of 24.5 pretty easily. So back on that. Jared Vanderbilt over 14.5 points plus rebounds. With Olynyk in the lineup, that's the whole key here. Vanderbilt's rebounds jump like 1.5 or 2 per game just because Olynyk operates over on the perimeter versus Kessler in the paint. He's over this line in 10 of 15 road games this year with Olynyk. And Golden State is top 10 the last 7 games in points allowed and rebounds allowed individually to the power forward position. So let's just double up on it, put it together, and catch an edge, putting them together. And then also on D'Angelo Russell points plus assists. Russell, I know he screwed you just like he screwed me, Chris, a couple times earlier this year, right? Just the points line, we were expecting to bounce back a little sooner than it happened. Russell's caught a little bit of a resurgence, here lately with 1 big man on the floor rather than 2. He's really been crushing the points. He's up without Towns this year. He's up to right around 20. I think it was like 20.2 per game without Towns this year. He's hitting this line extremely regularly. I don't have the data out in front of me. I'm sorry, but randomly last game he did not. I wanted to figure out why, And it was actually a game where both Gobert and Naz Reid both played 30-plus minutes. So even though no Towns, it was still the same idea, two bigs on the floor. With the matchup tonight, I don't see them going as heavy. Just with, if you put Naz Reid or Gobert on Zion, like, it's going to be a long night for one of them, right? So, you probably hope that they have McDaniels or, Anderson. Hopefully Anderson's in, right? Guarding him. So you kind of have more of a wing player playing alongside Russell rather than a big. Just with how Russell plays, right? You can kind of get to this line 25 and a half, a number of ways, right? Minnesota allows a ton of assists to point guards. You can get there with 10 assists, 11 assists, and him getting the 15 points. Or you could have him get to his average, right, without Towns on the floor of 20 points, get a couple assists, and get to the 25 and a half maybe. So that's what I'm on at.
Okay. Hey, those are solid looks, man. Cash them all, bro. I hope you cash them. I like the Vanderbilt look a lot. I was already looking at Vanderbilt myself, so it's nice that you mentioned him. I was looking at Kester Walker, but with Vanderbilt, with like you said, with Olynyk being back, I like the pivot to Vanderbilt. So
and the other thing too, right? Like we always talk about fading players' rebounds when coming back from injury. So I guess buying Vanderbilt as a rebounder is kind of a way of fading Olynyk that way too.
Yeah, excellent point there for sure. Yeah, and I think he's going to be on a minutes limit as well. That being Olynyk, so like that look and like the analysis around that too, Ben. Best of luck to you tonight, Jehovah. I want to kick it to you, and then I'm gonna try to get the hustle and still hard cut off right at 6:00 though. So, Jehovah, you got something for your sons tonight? I know that's who you came to talk about.
Yeah, and that's exactly where I'm about to go first. We about to get some quick money in and out. We get Phoenix Suns money line. I'm gonna discuss that after. But 8 and 15 and 6. Chris Paul 10 points. Mikal 1-3 and Porzingis 1-3. That's a plus 207 on FanDuel.
Say it one more time, Jehovah. So people, so because you was talking a little fast. So if people want to tell that, what is it?
It's a plus 207 now on FanDuel. Phoenix Suns money line. DeAndre 8 and 15 points, 6 rebounds. Chris Paul 10 points. Mikal Bridges 1 3-pointer and Porzingis 1 3-pointer. And the Phoenix Suns money line, because the Suns, the Suns remember games where we lose to the same team. Where we just lost to a team, we play them again. And we just lost to Washington late. And I think Bill is out this game too, because Bill went off in that fourth quarter.
Yeah, he is.
And that's all it's telling me. Phoenix Suns money line, period. Don't even think about it. And I have one more plus money. It's plus 189. The Denver and the Kings game. De'Aaron Fox, just because he's going to play a little bit more minutes. He's got 15 points. That's all. Jokic, you could get him for a triple-double, which I think he should get, because Alex Lynn, that's not the guy. So I have Jokic 20 points and 10 rebounds again. Easy, quick and easy. And I have Harrison Barnes, 1 3-pointer and 4 rebounds. Harrison Barnes, let me see. Harrison Barnes, he's hit 1 3-pointer in his last five. And the rebound numbers, he's going crazy on the boards. He has 8, 5, 8, 3, 7, and 8, and 8. So that's it. And I have the alternate under 250. It's kind of a lot, but yeah. Phoenix Suns, if you want to take one of those, I think Phoenix Suns is the better one. Or if not, take the money line off on that Suns, and it's minus 111. But I'm taking the Suns, period.
Okay. All right. Best of luck to you, Jehovah. Best of luck to you.
All right.
Hustle, real quick. What you got? Then we're going to get up out of here. What up, Hustle?
All right, real quick. I got 2 things. Of course, I like Paolo for 20 tonight and LeBron for 30. That right there gets you about plus 3 something. But I'm looking at this Orlando and Detroit. The away team total for Orlando is 115 and a half?
Yeah, that sounds about right. 115 to 113 and a half. Yeah.
115 and a half. And Detroit is they giving up close to 120 a game.
Mm-hmm.
If you like that, if you agree with that, for 5 more points, you can get an alternate away total for Orlando for plus 196 for 5 more points. So I'm playing both of those for the game. That's only that's 29 points a quarter, which is possible against Detroit. So just to be quick, those are two right there, two picks that I really like.
Okay. Okay. Man, Detroit is it's difficult. It's difficult to fade, to not like, the Orlando Magic to be able to get whatever it is that they want today. So I couldn't talk you off of it. I only worry, a tad bit about Detroit's defensive rating, which is, typically pretty good on the road. And to me, what that means is, typically when you play defense, you don't have to score as many points because they're not needed, right? So, but I couldn't talk you off of it though. I could not talk you off of, potentially laddering that team total for the Orlando Magic tonight.
And another angle for this is if it's close, it can go to overtime. They just gave up 142 to the Clippers in OT. They gave up 130 to the Hawks. They gave up 126 to the Jazz, 124 to the Nets, 122 to the Kings. You know what I'm saying? 134 to the Hornets in overtime. You know what I'm saying? 124 to the Lakers. The Pistons gave up. So.
Yeah. No, I see your angle, Hustle. I think the books just haven't. The books aren't going to set Orlando team total that high just because their offense typically doesn't score that many points. Like before 2 weeks ago, they were a team that was averaging about 107 points per game, and one of the worst offensive teams in the league. They've really turned it around recently, but which is why, like I said, I couldn't talk you off of it. I hope they do score that many because I need it. I took the over in the full game, so I hope you cash it, bro.
Yeah, I definitely think the over for the total game. I definitely think that's a play.
Yeah.
That 228, like that should definitely hit. Because these two teams together are giving up. It's just I noticed that teams that are losing and losing bad, they give up about in that 120 range. So teams like the Spurs, Detroit, I mean even Orlando can give up 120. In certain games. Things like that I watch. I really got this from you. I've been on these team totals since you gave out a couple, and they hit for me. I tailed on it, so I got to give you props on me doing more research on these team totals.
Yeah, for sure. It's just a way to kind of get away from the side. You don't want to lay the points with a team, but you think that they're gonna still score that many points, and you don't really care about how many points the other team scores. So I appreciate the recognition, bro. Let's get up out of here. I hope you cash them too, Hustle.
Say it again?
I know. I was just saying. I hope you cash. I hope you cash them.
Yeah. I just want to say one more thing. When I'm talking about plus money plays like this, we're not talking about full units. We're talking about half units, quarter units, and stuff like that. Definitely don't put a whole unit on alternate plus money plays like this.
Right. I'm glad you added that. Yeah, for sure. You take the team total. If you really like it, maybe you put a unit on that, and then, like you said, when you ladder it, you definitely reduce the units for sure. So glad you mentioned that, Hustle, for sure as well. Real quick, because I do got to get up out of here. Official for me, same game, Orlando, Detroit. I took the over 229. It's still available pretty much at every single book. So I like it. Analysis was in the video as well. Also talked about it on Let's Cap with Ronald and Munoz and Austin earlier as well. The Washington and Phoenix game, like I said, I made it official. The over 30.5 points plus rebounds for Aiden. I locked that one in while I was doing the show. Miami and LA, nothing. Line did go to 10, like I said, though, but I'm probably just going to stay off of that game and just watch it. Brooklyn and Atlanta, still waiting on the news, so nothing official for me there. Minnesota, New Orleans, nothing. Milwaukee, Chicago. Give me Brook Lopez over the 1.5 threes. I also played him at 3, smaller play, but plus 290. Denver and Sacramento really like the under, but haven't locked that one in yet. Waiting on the news to, figure out if Sabonis is going to be in and what Denver is going to do on their side of the injury report. And then Golden State and Utah. I like the Vanderbilt look that Ben talked about, but haven't placed that either. So a couple official plays for me. Just the Aiden over 30.5 points plus rebounds. The Brook Lopez over 1.5 threes and over 3 threes, and then the over for the Orlando and Detroit game. Tomorrow is Thursday already, and we got a 6-game card for tomorrow. So already looking ahead to tomorrow. Lines are already out for these games as well. Best of luck to you guys tonight. As always, none of this is financial consultation. This is theory, logic, queries and trends, and SDQL and eye test. So, bet with your head, not over it. Always live to fight another day. Don't deplete your bankroll on one game or one night. Best of luck to you guys tonight. I'm out.